When our European clients get told next quarter that Microsoft and Zoom are off the approved vendor list, what happens to our pipeline? Clients are starting to ask whether our platform can run without US collaboration tools. Our board is asking whether we have a backup if our primary platform becomes politically restricted. If any of those sentences sound familiar, this is for you. Something is already moving in your pipeline that most US businesses haven't named yet. France has announced that 2.5 million civil servants will stop using Zoom and Microsoft Teams by 2027, moving to a homegrown, open-source platform called Visio. The official goal? To put an end to the use of non-European solutions and guarantee the security and confidentiality of public electronic communications. Germany's state of Schleswig-Holstein has already moved 44,000 inboxes off Microsoft Exchange to open source and off SharePoint to Nextcloud. Austria's military has moved to LibreOffice. Across Europe, the question is no longer whether to exit US platforms, it's how fast. For your business, this means one thing: the commercial disqualification isn't happening in 2027. It's happening at your next renewal call, your next RFP, your next board risk memo. If your business model is, "We are the Microsoft and Zoom experts for European clients," your eligibility clock is already running. This is what happens when a global trust collapse and a formal digital sovereignty push converge at the same time. European governments and institutions are not moving off US platforms because of UI preferences. They are moving because they no longer trust the system those platforms sit inside: US law, US politics, US enforcement. As France's civil service minister put it, "We cannot risk having our scientific exchanges, our sensitive data, and our strategic innovations exposed to non-European actors." And here is what most advisors won't tell you. The businesses that move through this moment, not around it, are the ones who get to design what comes next. This is not just a survival problem. It is a positioning opportunity, but only for the businesses that act before they are forced to. And the usual response won't unlock that opportunity. Lobbying, press releases from big tech, waiting for US politics to stabilize. None of that will reverse France's decision. None of it will stop Schleswig-Holstein's migration. Those decisions are already made in key places. The social fabric of trust has already torn. Waiting is not a neutral position. It is a business risk. So what does moving through this moment actually look like? First, be honest about your dependency. How much of your revenue depends on Microsoft, Zoom, or other US mega platforms? How many of those clients are in jurisdictions where sovereignty, boycott, or legitimacy concerns are rising? Name it before it names you. Second, reframe your identity. Not, "We are the best Microsoft and Zoom experts," but, "We help you design and migrate to resilient, sovereignty-aware, vendor-agnostic environments." That is a different business. It is also a more durable one. Third, expand your credibility. EU-friendly platforms, open-source transition planning, data minimization practices. These are not niche skills anymore. They are the new table stakes. This convergence, the global trust collapse, and the digital sovereignty push is what I call the double squeeze. It is repricing your pipeline in weeks, not years. The leaders who understand this are already asking a harder question. How long before US-based domestic clients, universities, local governments, privacy-conscious enterprises face these exact same pressures? The international wave is here. The domestic wave is next. The businesses building sovereignty-aware infrastructure now will not just survive the transition. They will become the partners that clients on both sides of that wave will need. This is what I help leaders do before the pressure becomes a crisis, turning inner leadership into concrete choices about platforms, contracts, and governance before you are forced to. Designing a path from Microsoft and Zoom-dependent vendor to sovereignty-aware, democracy-aligned infrastructure partner, and helping you use this crisis as a forcing function to upgrade your business model, so you are the one leading the transition, not being buried by it. Thrive. not just surviving the double squeeze, helping design what replaces it. If you recognize your exposure here is the invitation. Read the full analysis at my personal innovation hub on Substack. Use it as a shared language with your leadership team and your board. And if you want support translating that into a roadmap, understanding your current risk, reframing your offer, and mapping concrete next steps, reach out. The boycott wave is already here. The sovereignty wave is already here. The domestic trust collapse is next. The question is not whether this affects you. The question is whether you are responding to that future or helping to build it. The Innovation Sanctuary Retreat Adventure is where we embark on that work together. Learn how the Innovation Sanctuary Retreat experiment this fall in Shelter Cove, California can help. Subscribe to my personal innovation hub on Substack. Go to YvetteDouble.substack.com.